Hello, let's continue to step 10 of the SAP assignment, post payment to the landlord about the rental bills. For payment of a existing accounts payable, we are going to use the financial accounting, accounts payable management, and under the AP accountant, now we are going to click on the last tile, post outgoing payments. The system here is running a little bit slow, but by having the information, you can see we are going to put the general information and also the payment, the bank information, and clear the related vendor. So we'll finish this accounting module. I don't know why it's so slow. The system. It is not my Wi-Fi, is about SAP. Okay, I know it's coming up. So company code, we use the same, so US 00, and posting date. So I'm still doing this on the same day, so it's still today. And you can choose the same day as the journal entry date and then the period, and you can leave. And the journal entry type, because we are making the outgoing payments. So the vendor payments represented by the KZ is already showing. So we just keep as the default. And then the bank information. So under the GL account, you are going to pull the new bank account we created in step 1. So the bank information and then the dollar payment should match with the invoice if we approve the payment, right? There is no additional fees. And I think that's it. Need to have 00. I think it will go okay like for this. And the supplier, I need to put the vendor ID. Again, if you forgot, I always can go to the search. So found my own vendor in this case. So I have the Eden Ferrari. This one. Oh, yeah, it's coming. So Eden Prairie, and then anything else we need. But double check with your USD. This is the currency. And now we should have no errors in the page. So let's double check before we move to the next step. And then click on show item because we are calling this vendor. So I'm clicking on the show items to see do we have opening balances. So you don't need to manually check or do I have any accounts payable and how much. But if you show the item, the system will pull the opening on payment for this vendor especially. And from our transaction, we only have this item. But if you do business with the vendor continuously, you may have different accounts payable balances. So when we make the payments, you need to match with the correct invoice. For us, this is the only one, and now we can clear. So clear means we agreeing to make payments from our bank account to this vendor. So it's like really you make the payments, you confirm the payments, and it will be gone from your bank system. So click on clear. And now you should have no balance. You can see it's cleared, and this vendor in the next step, when we check the supplier balance, will have zero balance for this vendor. So once everything you can see is confirmed, now we can post. Because this journal entry will actually debit the accounts payable by clearing the accounts payable and also credit the bank account. And you can simulate, okay, no problem, if you want to simulate. And you should have this. Okay, so we credit the bank account and debit the accounts payable for this landlord. And now I can post. And this will be the third journal entry generated in this accounts payable module. And we can find it in the management journal entry transactions. So like this is the view. And I think we are almost done. Just to have another review of the accounts payable balance and then pull a but for financial statements. Okay, now let me go back to the posted. Okay, I don't have any new transactions. I'm just going back. Yeah, I can just continue go. So I'm going back to the accounts payable, and now under the AP accountant, I'm going to do step 11, display the supplier balances. If even I know I already cleared this vendor account payable, now I'm confirming from a specific balance, uh, reviewing for this vendor, okay, to confirm the payment has been done correctly. So, and I think to start, set the vendor. I need to find, I didn't remember. So 01, go. 01. Should be underlined. Okay, here it is again. I should remember this. And okay, and the company code, US 00, and the year will be current, and go. Now, you see, before we make the payment, we see credit balance for this vendor, the landlord. And then after we made the payments in step 10, which is a debit for the landlord account, and now the accumulative balance for this landlord, the account payable is zero, so means it's cleared already. So this confirm the payments we have done in step 10. So that's the purpose for step 11. So display the updated balance for the accounts payable, which should be zero. So now I'm going back. And for step 12, so I'm going to go take a look for the financial statement. So how the financial statement look like at this moment. And I think if you can do this. So still under the accounts payable, under accounts receivable, you also see the balance sheet income statement. So click on this tile. And now let's do US 00 because the transaction we have performed under the company code of US 00, and your journal statement version should be G, then your account number. So G means general ledger, and then 0 like, the account number related to your special system. And I think others we can leave current. So we have automatic comparison to January last year. So go. And you can see under here, we have a very simple financial statement reflecting only the 3 transactions we have done so far. If you click on assets and all accounts, the assets, because we made a payment on the new bank account, right? We don't have anything. So like, I have like a negative, so 500, 1500. If I click on this, okay, you can see the breakdown, the current assets. We have used 2 bank account. One is the main, like regular bank, and the other one is the newer bank account. Because we transferred the fund 5,000 from main bank to the new bank account. So the main bank account is a negative 5,000 because we are starting from zero, right? So nothing. So it's a negative, no problem. Okay, because this is a teaching case in the real company operations, we shouldn't have this problem. But for the new bank account, we receive a $5,000 transfer from the original, but made a payment for 1,500 rental bill. So the new bank account has a positive $3,500, but combined, we are still having a negative 1,500 as the current asset. Then we don't have any accounts payable because, we have accounts payable, but we made the payments. But we do have a profit and a loss, the expenditure, which is our rental expense. No revenue yet. Okay. Once we have the time to perform more transactions, more modules later, such as the sales and the purchasing, we can add more ledger accounts under our financial statement. So very brief, but it's really giving you the idea how the accounting cycle is performed and the way we analyze and process the transactions, which is very different from what we learn from the book, right? Even we are really using the same financial accounting principles. And if you click on the balance sheet, they have already got transferred here. But for the profit and the loss is really same to the our accounts. Okay, but what we are really showing here is both the balance sheet and the income statement information. So in that, again, this is the very starting short accounts payable, trying to simulate a accounting cycle. So I hope we have learned in the real ERP system, right? So how financial accounting data are entered, processed, and how we can generate output. But we are only touched a very, very little part of the accounting modules, and hope we can have time to learn more in the future.